the same could be said for each guy. Who's got the better offense, who's got better defense. Two absolute freaks of nature.
And one of the biggest matches, again, in Final X history, and this is one we circled and said we're going to be hyped for it. It's underway. Kyle Dake in the red, Zahid Valencia in the blue. Valencia was in position. Beat the arm for the go behind. Dake able to get out of danger.
And we'll see how Dake can handle the speed of Valencia. You know, he's not Jordan Burroughs fast, but he's pretty dang fast to the legs.
Super quick to the legs, absolutely. And he's got a lot of...
And that snap says something, too, of Zahid. Snaps Dake to his knees.
He's got the length advantage, for sure.
Look for Dake to feel things out, figure out what Zahid's got. Of course, when Zahid gets in on a leg, that's when the match is really going to start. Can Zahid finish? As we're going to see Dake warned for passivity early, first 40 seconds of the match.
I think that's the right call.
He's wrestling from a knee. He's not controlling center. Collar and elbow for Zahid Valencia. And now driving forward. You see Dake getting really low and just driving inch by inch. Looking to shuck it by there. Nice shot by Zahid Valencia.
And he's going to continue to attack.
Wow, nice little collar and double leg. He's in. Can he score now? This Dake's really strong from this chest wrap position. Zahid's got to be patient or he's going to go for a ride.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the power from Kyle Dake.
Gosh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Only Kyle Dake.
I thought he was dead to rights. I thought, oh my gosh, this one's going to start the way Dieringer Valencia finished, but Kyle Dake stopped it. But guess what? There's 13 more of those coming.
Yeah, Zahid's not going to stop. And believe me, Zahid, as athletic and skilled as he is, he's calculated. He's a smart wrestler. He's going to make the adjustments in that finish. There's opportunities for him to finish there. And even though Dake's strong for that chest wrap, you best believe Zahid could potentially figure that out. So we're going to see Dake go on the shot clock here in the first 90 seconds of this match. 30 seconds to score. This is our first shot clock? We have our first shot clock. That's a good thing.
Of the night. Yeah.
And that's not going to deter. And now
in position. Kyle Dake's going to score this. He's going to slam Valencia into the mat for two. And he makes a statement with that physicality.
Unbelievable. Gets to that goal behind in a classic Cornell mat return. Spikes him to the mat. Seen that before. And Zahid says, okay, let's go. I'm not going to stop. And Dake wrestling from his knees there. And a big swing there because Dake was on the clock. So not only does he not give up the point, he finds a way to get 2 points of his own. 1 minute to go.
And that's just like vintage Kyle Dake, finding a way when you think the cards are stacked against him.
Zahid going collar. He goes righty collar, lefty sweep to Dake's right leg. And once again, look at that re-attack.
Oh my gosh, Kyle Dake. And there's that defense of Zahid we talked about that's extremely underrated. Very heavy and strong hips from Zahid Valencia, who fends off a shot from Kyle Dake, who is in deep.
That re-attack from Dake was you could tell that was something they drilled because that was off of Zahid's go-to attack. Now he's underneath again as Zahid Valencia. He's just going to hang here, not going to work for the finish. I don't believe 17 seconds to go. Zach Eric going to blow him back up. The man official there.
15 to go in the first period. Just the one score on the board from Kyle Dake, but I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Oh, it's been great. Tons of action for only 2 points going up on the board. Nice level change by Zahid Valencia. Dake kind of breaking his stance there the last couple seconds. He'll do that from time to time, but it doesn't really matter. 2-0 for Dake as Zahid gives a confident nod to his corner.
He's only down by 2, so Zahid right into this match. You see with Chris Pendleton and Zeke Jones in his corner. And we'll take a look at some of the action from the first period. This is, I mean, how do you get out of this?
That's the exact same position where he scored on against Dieringer. And right here, and then there's this go behind right to this. Boom. And how about, I mean, Zahid, Dake's thinking 4 from that position. So to not get the give up a 2 there, not a bad outcome for Zahid considering he got the rear staying. There's a shot off the whistle.
Surprise.
Zahid does that basically every match. Early in the second period here.
Zahid absolutely been the aggression. You got to wonder if at some point they might put Kyle back on the shot clock here in the second period because Zahid's up by 13 shots to maybe 1.
Yeah, and as the re-attack off Dake now extended on that double leg, I don't think Zahid's going to stop his game plan of shoot, 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 but now he's extended in this front headlock. But controlling that elbow. 2:29 to go.
But really, the only time he got threatened with the chest wrap was when he was in super deep on that first shot.
Exactly.
Otherwise, he's shooting and not getting to the legs. But kind of like Rachel Waters, either retreating or staying safe and getting a stalemate.
Yeah, and there it goes from right to left as Zahid extended again, finding himself underneath in this chest wrap position, but hasn't gone over yet. Of course, we've seen Dake take Jordan Burroughs through with that position. Takatani of Japan, a stud world finalist there. So he's really good from that position. So for Zahid to not get turned yet there shows he's prepared in that position. Low single attempt, and he continues to attack. And you gotta figure, unless Dake, and there, look at that re-attack from Dake. There's potential for Dake to go back on the clock here, especially if no points are going up in this second period. Good level change.
And it's like kind of a slower pace from Dake in this match. Sometimes you see him come out and explode through people, and he's being a little bit more reserved.
Other side for Zahid Valencia. He's in deep, but now sitting in the corner. This is where
Dake's going to take him through.
No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. He did not go.
Still nothing, but he's going to squeeze out the
two.
back door. Takedown for Kyle Dake, makes it 4-0. And he's got the leg split. Can he take Valencia through? He's trying to crawl his body up between the legs, closer to the hips. Or potentially transition into a lace, and he's going to go lace. Can he take him through? And I think we're going to stop right there. And Kyle Dake again fights off a leg attack of Valencia, turns it into his own score, picks up a takedown, and goes up 4-0 with 1:03 left. And with Kyle Dake's defense, he's got to feel comfortable here, you got to think.
No question. Let's see, he's going to continue. He's been going club sweep. He's attacked both sides. But he's been trying to finish from his knees throughout. That's going to be tough against someone like Dake. Another shot from Zahid Valencia. .35, another shot, but great defense. The Wizard seatbelt, and Zahid clears out of it. 30 seconds to go.
Got to be frustrating if you're Zahid taking all these shots and just, most of the time when you do this, it works. This time, you're wrestling a different animal.
And they're going to warn Dake for, I guess, fleeing. First one. And shot, he timed it just right, did Valencia, but not in deep enough.
And he's going to need a four-pointer
He's in
essentially
deep
at this
there.
point. Look at Dake, takes the knee out in front, and the shin essentially on the shoulder, on bicep area. Referee stops it again with 10 to go.
Dake is so strong from so many different positions there, particularly the ones when you're in on his leg. What makes him so difficult to figure out. And match number one, a 4-0 win for Kyle Dake. And Dake fires off an attack as time expires. But a few subtle adjustments, and you got to figure Zahid Valencia can be in match number two.
And I tell you, we talked about the Penn State crowd might like him, might not like him, but he got a big old cheer after winning that match. Rob pulls hand off before every match, slaps it like nobody's business. Our wrestlers are planted, ready in the center of the mat. Match number two, 79 kilograms. Kyle Dake in the blue.
Right away.
He immediately gets to the leg, but Valencia says, get off me. Zahid Valencia in the red. Dake wins the first match 4-0, right?
4-0, that was it. Had that go behind the mat return and then the counter off Zahid's shot that he was able to score. And you're seeing him attacking Zahid's left leg 2 times now, but Zahid able to avoid at this point. 30 seconds in, inside control there. Looking to snap.
Pulls him, moving him on the mat is Valencia. And so maybe the game plan is more motion, less shots, pick your shots and
That's
get some angles.
And the Penn State crowd here recognizing that was no points on the board, but that's some great attempts, great wrestling. Shoots right through him. And that's 2 for Zahid.
Wow.
He strikes first here. 50 seconds in.
And Zahid Valencia's first score at all against Kyle Dake. You got to wonder if that's a burst of confidence that he needed.
And it's just that constant motion and speed catching that ankle, and those are the kinds of finishes you need against Kyle Dake. If the longer it takes you to finish, the less likely you are to do so against someone like Kyle Dake, as you see him collar an ankle again. But Dake's not going to be anyone to panic as he looks for that same attack. Now it's Dake on the offensive off the re-attack, can't get in.
Yeah.
Minute 47 to go in the first.
Kyle Dake will not be rattled. He's been in so many big matches his whole entire life, and sometimes I feel like if I were him, I'd be so rattled, but he's just poised and usually just powers right through it. He's been scored on before.
Oh, again.
And again, he gets to the leg.
And just tries to shove him on the edge, but he wasn't quite in the zone. And even still, you know, with that step out, if you shove and extend your arms, they're not likely to give you that one. They'll call straight arm push. So you've got to be a little more calculated. But as it stands, he didn't get out of bounds anyways. And looking for that collar and ankle again. Nice adjustment there from Zahid. As Dake going to be warned for passivity. Hand on the mat there from Kyle Dake. And now a knee on the mat for Zahid Valencia. And those are little subtle things in freestyle wrestling that can get you warned for passivity and put on the clock.
Dake getting low, driving forward here. Maybe looking for a step out.
Good job by Zahid clearing out there. It was very clear Dake was just going to get low and try to drive him toward the edge. Zahid able to free himself from that tie and get back to center. 40 seconds to go as he clears out. And now Sammy Julian indicating towards Zahid. And there's another shot, collar and ankle.
Dake controlling the center of the mat. So you see Zahid kind of firing off attacks, but Dake controlling the center of the mat. And that could be why they hit Valencia for passivity.
Wrist control in there, trying to shoot through it is Kyle Dake, 20 remaining. Nice collar, right side, good snap. Man, the physicality of Zahid Valencia.
Very high. Shot from space by Kyle Dake. Valencia looks to almost go behind from it. Short time to go here in the first, so it looks like it's going to be 2-0 at the break. Zahid Valencia with the lead.
Wow. Quite a first period there. Some really nice exchanges. And that takedown from Zahid was picture perfect on that collar and ankle. You see Pendleton and Zeke Jones in his corner. And it's 2-0 in favor of Zahid at the break. 14 seconds to go. And there's that collar ankle, runs right through him. Quick finish, and Dake didn't even try to turn in and fight it. Was it kind of in a situation where he could give up 4 there?
Yeah.
If he doesn't turn down, he wisely turns down. And we are underway, second period, and a collar and ankle other side now. Maybe that was the same side for Zahid Valencia.
And Zahid gonna continue this pace. Very high. Dake looking for opportunities. Dake gonna try to counter here and looking to capitalize, but he gets to the legs and he gives up nothing.
Reminds me some of those Mark Hall, Zahid Valencia scrambles, back and forth. They would just exchange.
One of the best I ever saw this year in the NCAA finals, back and forth.
That was a world-class level flurry in NCAA wrestling. Those two guys are out of this world good. 2:24 to go in the second period. Looking level change, and Zahid.
And Dake to the leg. Oh, he loses it. He loses it. Dake continues to attack.
Some of that Houdini defense of Valencia, you don't talk about as much because he's so good offensively, so tough to take down. Dake-esque, and we're going to see Zahid Valencia get hit for passivity. And he's not on the shot clock. Next one, we'll put him on the clock. We'll see if Zahid, he hasn't stopped attacking. There's another attack, but he's right in Dake's wheelhouse here. Between the legs, it's gonna be a tough spot to finish from. As you see Dake walking around the crotch, looking to lift. He's got a foot on the mat, does Dake. Zahid doing a great job. And now hopping over is Kyle Dake. Zahid Valencia hanging tough. Zahid just hanging on for the stalemate. Did a great job. Did Zahid Valencia, even though that was his attack, it was Dake looking to score the entire time and able to prevent the 2-point exposure of Valencia.
Dake fantastic from that crotch lift position. He scored on Burroughs last year at the World Team Trials from that same position. Great defense, defense from Zahid to be able to fight that off. Halfway through the second, Kyle Dake yet to score this bout.
Double to single in deep, same position, same leg, and once again locking around the crotch. Zahid Valencia not going to change his approach. And there's 2 and Kyle Dake's going to split him and come out. Dake's going to get the 2, and he's going to have the lead on criteria. 1:05 to go in this match.
Kyle Dake looking to make that world team.
And he's so good up top. There's the gun.
Got a trap dart gun. He's going to take it back. Not confirmed, just 2. only 2, takedown to 1 2-point turn, 4-2. Kyle Dake with the lead, 45 seconds to go.
And 42 seconds, a takedown for Valencia would put him in the lead. And they're not going to give, I know he exposed multiple times, but unless you get to a completely defensible position, they're not going to let you add on. So it's just the one turn there for Kyle Dake. Level
Dake's
change
gonna,
fake.
he's going to kind of go into defensive mode if I had to guess here.
And he's been in that mode pretty much the entire match. It's been defensive. He hasn't taken much of a committed attack. There's another shot from Zahid Valencia. Can he finish? He's got Dake towards the zone, hand out, and runs out of bounds. Caution and 1 offered by Sammy Julian and confirmed by the chairman, Zach Garrett.
But Dake's smart. Dake's smart. He knew that, hey, I can give up 1 here. I can't give up 2.
Now 1 here is not enough for Valencia. He's got to get a takedown. He would still be losing. There's another shot. He's in deep. This is his chance. Can he finish?
15 to go.
He's up in that chest wrap, and Kyle Dake, so good from this position. 8 seconds to go.
Dake's smiling, looking over at his corner, looking at the clock.
And Dake's gonna do it. So close so many times. Kyle Dake on the world team. A 4-3 winner over Zahid Valencia. What a match, what a series. Zahid Valencia's for real, but it's Kyle Dake's time right now.
An historic moment in Kyle Dake's career. He's done pretty much everything you can do up to this point. He now has that opportunity to be on a world team, compete for a world medal, and obviously in his mind, a gold medal.
What a series that was. Man, so much credit to Zahid Valencia there on those attacks. You see Dake getting congratulated by Bill Zadek, who will be his coach this summer. Or I guess it'll be fall by October.
Yeah.
Backing up these world championships to the fall.
That's Bill Zadek and Captain Mark Butler of the United States Marine Corps, and these Penn State fans giving it up for Kyle Dake, the wrestling fans more than anything, and they understand how big this moment is for Kyle Dake, and he's going to be chatting with our man Brian Hazard. And we'll kick it down to that duo right now.
79-kilogram world team member. Let's give it up for Kyle Dake. Kyle, it's been a long time coming. Your first world team, you've been right on the cusp for so long. New weight class, new opportunity. Tell me about what it's going to take to get to the next level on the podium in Budapest.
You know, my goal all year has been I want to be a gold medalist this year, and I plan on bringing it back home in October.
This man knows how to win, folks, and he is your 79-kilogram world team member. Give it up one more time, Kyle Dake.
Throw down.
Yep, go time here. Handshake. It's going to be Dake in the red, the 2018 world champion, taking on Alex Dieringer in the blue. And immediately it's Dieringer taking ground, pawing at him with that right hand as Alex Dieringer staying nice and low. There's Ringer in the early going.
And he's all right. I wonder if we're going to see Dake try to operate from space a little bit more here. Ringer has a little bit of size advantage just by the look.
Yeah,
And,
there's no question, you know, Dake's likely going down to 74 kilograms for the Olympic trials. Dieringer been publicly stating, hey, I'm going up to 86. So, yeah, there is going to be a size advantage here potentially for Alex Dieringer. But I don't know if that's going to be a factor as he goes post from that 2-on-1 to shot to Dake, but it's not there.
And indeed, he is he's staying back, staying a little far out. And I wonder if Kyle's going to try to use some speed from the outside. And Ringer's going to want to cling together and get in a hand fight a little bit more. And we're going to see passivity against Dake here early on as he is letting Ringer take a little bit of ground. So first passivity against Kyle Dake, 50 seconds into it. And Ringer gets a tight collar tie with his left hand.
Yeah, he likes that collar underhook on the left side and then inside with his right. But you see jacking up an underhook as Kyle Dake got his hips all the way in there, trying to clear it out is Alex Dieringer, but has him in the zone as Kyle Dake. Good job clearing that out for the time being. The hook is still in for Kyle Dake, who also has head position.
And now it's Dake in the center, taking ground, Ringer's butt to the edge. And now they're going to go passivity blue, I believe. So each guy's been banged. And in the next 42 seconds, if we don't see an outright score, somebody will go on the shot clock. 1:42 to go here in the first. No score between Ringer and Dake. And I tell you, this gym is packed.
Yeah, it's
all
packed
but sold
full.
out.
It's awesome. And one thing to look for in these leg attacks, Dake has had a lot of success shooting knee pull to Dieringer's right leg. Conversely, Dieringer's like to go on post left side high crotch. He said yesterday he needs to double off there. Doesn't want to get into a high crotch finishing position against someone as good as Kyle Dake, who can sit the corner. Crotch will do a lot of stuff, and he's back to that underhook as Kyle Dake. I think he's going to try to get Dieringer at least put on the shot clock as he's taking ground. Dropping that head is Alex Dieringer, as they're going to indicate towards red for passivity. So Kyle Dake going to go on the shot clock first. He'll have 30 seconds to score, or Dieringer will take a 1-0 lead here. Very calculated start here by both guys. Dake's taking one leg attack. Ringer not taking one as of yet.
Just under a minute to go in the first. Dake back to that right side underhook.
And Dake's always been good from underhooks, but it's not something we've seen him implement against Dieringer. Oh, and going Metzger. Holy smokes.
He went for a big. Ringer able to hold some ground. And now he goes double unders as Dake's got him towards the edge. And Ringer takes it towards the edge. Somebody's going out of bounds. And they said...
No, he goes one.
Did they say one and then two?
Can't do that. One or the other. So he stepped out, and it's... oh, no, was it one for Ringer on the shot clock? Now they're going to take a look at this.
One for Ringer on the shot. Okay, I didn't know.
No, you're right, Bader, because he held up red for both.
I thought he put one up for blue. And maybe you're right, because Rob Cole is mistaken. They're going to take it back to the center.
So 1-1.
1 point on the shot clock violation for Dieringer. Dake immediately scores following that, so Dake up 1-1 on criteria because he scored last.
Nearly beating the buzzer, and as I mentioned, the underhook's not something we've seen him implement against Alex Dieringer. He's always been extremely skilled upper body. One of the big storylines throughout Kyle Dake's career is how versatile he is and how good he is in different positions. There's that underhook. We've seen that. We'll see if he continues to get to it and what adjustments Alex Dieringer is going to make to keep him out of it.
And again, Dieringer taking a shot. And Kyle Dake stops him, trying to take him to the edge, and Dake's going to take him out of bounds.
Something you see a lot of, and something I noticed this year, I watched Jordan Oliver do this. He floats towards the edge a little bit. He gets the guy to come a little bit forward. Then he matadors him and ends up scoring, whether it's a re-attack or just forcing a step out. And I can't help but believe that Dake ceded that ground for that reason, so he could counter and get Dieringer thinking he's a little closer to scoring than he actually was. So it's 2-1 Dake off 2 step outs after 1.
And eyeball test, Kyle might be breathing a little heavier.
Well,
test.
Yeah, but Dake, it's like one thing, it always looks like he's breathing heavy. It's
true.
Like nothing new, but it rarely ever matters.
Ringer back to the center, 2-1, Kyle Dake with the lead, start of the second period. And Kyle says he's poking him in the eye.
And Kyle may have the most poked face in international wrestling history. It's happened a lot to the guy.
And again, Ringer taking ground, Kyle snaps him off, circles his way back to the center.
I think Kyle's ceding the ground more than Dieringer's taking it.
Could be.
Clubbing to that underhook again as Kyle Dake can't get in there.
Well, he did train with Jordan Oliver for a year.
Yeah, no question. So elbow control there for Alex Dieringer as he looks for that low shot. Nothing's there.
I'm curious to see if we see either guy. And it would be Kyle, since he is ceding that ground, whether or not he's doing it on purpose. If he continues to move back, he could get hit on the shot clock.
Yeah, it would be something if they put Dake on the shot clock again, considering he's already on the clock once.
And Mike sitting next to us said it, and rightfully so, that underhook's a problem.
Well, especially for Ringer, he needs that left arm to shoot his sweep or his left side high crotch. It's going to be tough to get in there if you've got an underhook jacked up on your left side there.
Now they're going passivity blue, confirmed against Alex Dieringer, so he trails 2-1. He's going on the clock.
Here's 30 seconds for Ringer here. Needs to get a point on the board.
Alex Dieringer has scored 1 point against Kyle Dake here. And Kyle gave up in the entire World Championships.
Crazy to think about never giving up a shot clock. I mean, those are just like assumed at the international level. You're going to get put on the clock, and a lot of times you'll give those up. But now 1:24 to go here. That's going to do it, another point. So it's 3-1. in favor of Dake, but a takedown would put Ringer in the lead by criteria. So he needs 2 points, but if he gets us 2, he'll be in the lead 3-3.
Seemingly a very tactical match from Kyle Dake thus far. Oh, a fake! Looked like he had a bit on it.
I think more of that if you're Alex Dieringer. You need some flurries opening him up. You're not going to be able to stand in front of Kyle Dake and wait for an opening. You're going to have to create one.
Kyle wrestling wisely here as we enter the final 49 seconds. Dieringer is going to have to press the pace to move forward. As you said, Christian, maybe a couple fakes together. Attention, Kyle.
Thinking he's being a little evasive.
I don't disagree. Dieringer's trying, I think he's looking for that post. Ringer tried to move forward. Kyle stops it immediately.
Ringer just having a hard time opening up. So many opponents of Kyle Dake have a hard time. There's that sweep, nothing there, gets his leg back. Does Kyle Dake, and need more of those if you're Alex Dieringer with 22 to go.
Ringer kind of got to the body. There's another second attempt. 17 to go. Ringer needs 1 or 2 more. For sure, he's going to take one there. Kyle's going to stop it, and he continues to move. But when it's close and it's late.
Caution 1. Now 1 point would put Ringer in the lead.
8 seconds to go. Oh, boy.
A step out would do it for Ringer. Can he get it? He's coming hard. Posting. Nothing there. Just shot.
Dake, so solid. And he's going to stop, and Ringer kind of concedes the last 4 seconds. Kyle Dake, 3-2 in match number 1. We got a 30-minute break. We'll come back and do this again.
Wrestling Club, Mr. Kyle Dake.
Circling and driving Dieringer out of bounds. We're underway here. Match number 2. Alex Dieringer in the red, once again taking ground against Kyle Dake, and he's gonna come out and shoot right away. In on that shot.
He's got the leg up in the air. Great defense from Ringer, and he gives Dake a little shove as they go out of bounds. 1 point on the board for Kyle. I thought when he got to the leg he was gonna score 2, and again, his first steps are backwards, but then he fired up really this maybe second or third shot of the whole match.
And that's Dake's go-to attack against Alex Dieringer, that kind of inside reach single. Ringer preventing the finish is big, but he's been unable to get points of his own, so keeping it close is only as helpful if you're going to actually be able to get some points on the board. And once again, has him in the zone, but as soon as he gets in the zone and Dieringer gets his hands on him, Dake gets moving elsewhere.
It's got to be a little frustrating if you're Alex Dieringer. You feel like you're doing the right thing, just stalking him, you're moving forward, you're taking him with the zone, as he said, and then the old matador, the old switcheroo. And we're kind of in that same position now, and they're going to probably hit Kyle at some point here in the first, maybe. And Kyle's going to take him out of bounds. That's twice. Ringer takes him to the edge. Kyle turns it into his advantage. He leads 2-0, 1 minute into the bout. 2 step outs on the board for Kyle Dake, who again is retreating. And now Ringer definitely has to go after him. You know, down by 2, still a lot of time on the board, but
so much time, but you need minutes of persistence to get points against Kyle Dake.
And I got to think most guys, if they get taken to the zone like that, they want to get back to the center. They want to get back to the center. Kyle just looks like he feels so comfortable near the zone or even in the zone.
Because if you're in the zone, that's going to require, for you to actually be in danger, your opponent's got to come forward and attack. And if you're coming forward against Dake and attacking, you're actually entering his wheelhouse. That's why Dake feels comfortable ceding that kind of distance. And at this point, being put on the shot clock is not going to be, 1, likely that it'll happen for Dake anytime soon, or 2, something to worry about when you have a 2-point lead.
Back to that underhook, and he controlled this underhook very well in match 1, and that's the shooting hand of Alex Dieringer, and that could have been a lot of the difference in that match. More Ringer taking ground, and Dake snapping it off and circling. Under a minute to go here in the first period. 2-0, Kyle Dake, match number 2, leading Alex Dieringer.
See Ringer getting to that elbow with that right side, but he hasn't been able to. He wants to post with that right hand, but hasn't been able to. 35 to go here.
Ringer now gets to the ties. Kyle clears.
.22 seconds to go in the first period, and it's Dieringer. Once again, he has Dake towards the zone, but the offense is hard to come by. for Alex Dieringer, who's been able to score. Now, this is his hold. When he gets that underhook left and the control on the right, he's good there, but Dake just wisely clears it out just the moment he gets to it.
Recognized that and quickly able to clear 2-0 at the break. Kyle Dake with the lead. And Dake's gonna be tough to beat, up by 2.
When you have to come against Kyle Dake, it's really, really difficult.
See Rob Cole and Gabe Dean over there. Now you see John Smith whispering some words to Dieringer. Zach Esposito over in the corner as well. See if those words help at all.
And as much as Dieringer's been able to score against international competition, it's got to be a different element here facing someone like Kyle Dake, and knowing that, man, these points are so difficult to come by. You wonder if that confidence kind of creeps in a little bit. Can I get to this guy?
Oh, Dieringer coming forward, but now Kyle's got a body lock. Kyle in position to maybe take him out of bounds. Dieringer's...
Oh my goodness, he's got him lifted.
And we're gonna see...
Who's is it?
Roll through! All kinds of wrestling! What? Four red, 1 blue, 4 and 2. What's gonna call? Big points here. I gotta think we may see...
He caught that headlock on the way down. How are they gonna score it?
Oh my,
Are they
I
gonna
have
go
no
2-4-2? What's the call here?
I saw just one blue. Zach Garrett said just 1 blue. And you gotta challenge this probably.
And they're gonna take a look at it. The mat official held up for red at some point. He held up for blue.
A bunch of stuff.
But once you step out, you cannot score. So if Ringer did step out first and then he goes headlock, he cannot get 4 points.
Well, by far, that's the most action and excitement we've seen this afternoon. And
don't know if we're gonna get to look at the replay here or not. Right now, all we're seeing is the discussion between the mat official and Dieringer, Coach Esposito. If we can pull up the replay. There we go, kind of a far angle, and I couldn't
tell. We need to go back just a little further to see if there was a step out or what happened. He said 4 red, 2 blue on the mat.
Right.
Was the call.
Here we go.
We're gonna move ahead. Nothing.
No step out yet. No step out yet. Whole foot's got to go out. Whole foot's got to go out.
His right foot, Dieringer's right foot may have touched just the toe, but if the toe's the only thing that touches, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah,
I think it's.
Right here, look. 1 blue is the call. That's going to make it 4-0 Dake. So the call on the mat confirmed plus the 1-point penalty. Going to make it 4-0. So now Ringer's really got to go.
And you know what? We're going to see probably the best Ringer has the offer here. It's still early in this period.
Yeah,
2.5 minutes to go in the match.
Any 2, I mean, if he gets to 4, Ringer, and he has a 2 along the way, he'll be in the lead by criteria. So he can go 1-1-2 or 2-2, or obviously a straight 4 as he gets to his hold there. He's got him in the zone, but back to that right side underhook, presenting some problems for Alex Dieringer. 2 minutes to go.
And Dake back to making his way backwards towards the zone. Dieringer kept it unhooked for a second. Minute 45 to go. Dake up by 4. They're telling him to get in there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dake get hit for passivity.
At this point, that's kind of immaterial. Unless Ringer starts getting some points of his own going. Can't imagine shot clock or passivities being a factor in this bout. Minute 20 to go. 4-0 lead for Kyle Dake. He's 82 seconds away from making his 2nd straight world team. As they're going to indicate towards Kyle Dake. First such warning, so he's not on the clock.
See Esposito in the corner there, looking on. And Ringer takes more ground. Minute 5 to go. I don't know if we're gonna see Kyle take another attack.
No, and he doesn't need to. he looks at the clock. There's a
Ringer,
shot.
gets to the leg, got to the hips anyways, not quite to the deep to the legs. Kyle clears out of it, makes his way back to the center. 45 to go. Ringer chasing him around the mat.
Dake breaking stance a little bit, kind of standing upright, but Dake's one of those guys, body language, you think he's tired, but he's always got a little bit more to give.
And there was an attempt at that shot. Ringer to the leg. I mean, he got to the leg, but he just can't get through it or control it. Kyle's defense just so solid.
Club and sweep, just pulls him
And
off.
he's gonna
There's
concede
one.
a point. 4-1, 17 seconds to go. Ringer basically needs a 4. I think he's gonna score twice.
Unless he transitions real quick from takedown to turn, but with just 8 seconds to go. Now he's looking for that post. Dake can evade. There's one more. Now a takedown. Now another second ticks off.
3 seconds.
He needs a takedown in 2 seconds. And that's gonna do it. In 2 straight, Kyle Dake headed to Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan to represent the United States of America. And man, a dejected Alex Dieringer.
Yeah, you feel for the guy. Put his heart and soul into this whole entire life. That's the way it is. One guy's gonna win, one guy's gonna lose. Every time. Kyle Dake, returning world champion, back on the team. And that's gonna do it. Your winner. Kyle Dake in 2 straight matches.
The red, Jason Nolf in the blue.
Yeah, they had a 5-0 match before the trials. Nolf was in, unable to finish. That was basically the theme of the match, with Dake able to scoring some counters.
Kyle's defense so good. His offense is really good. Man, his defense, his positioning, nearly impossible to get through.
It's match number 174 kilograms. It's Dake in the red, Nolf in the blue, as he's got him towards the edge already. Talking with Dake coming into this match, I said, we're gonna see some new stuff from you tomorrow. He said, absolutely, I've been working on a lot of new stuff. And he's a guy that's always innovating. As great as he is and as much as he's won, he's always looking to improve, eliminate stuff from his wrestling that's not working anymore, and adds to his game constantly. But Jason Nolf, very innovative, very creative wrestler, a lot of ways to score. He can get to legs, both sides, heavy hand fighter. It's the finishing against Dake that has eluded him.
No committed attacks yet, but it's been all Kyle Dake taking ground, and they hit passivity against Jason Nolf. First one.
In the passivity there, that's Dake's holding center. If you hold center well and there's not a lot of offensive attempts, the other guy's gonna get warned for passivity. And that's what we've seen so far. Next time, Jason will go on the shot clock. There's that club and attack attempt there from Jason Nolf.
It's just crazy to think, like, you know, how dominant Jason Nolf was at the NCAA level and just seemingly toyed with people. And then there's a whole nother level, and
Yeah.
he's dealing with it right now, and that's Kyle Dake.
Not seemingly. He toyed with people. He was like a cat playing with a mouse in a lot of his matches. And then there's Kyle Dake. At the Olympic trials, Dake got in on a low-level shot, and he came up around the body lock, and instead of turning down, Nolf turned in trying to throw and paid the ultimate price, giving up 5 points and then a penalty points afterwards. Now Jason Nolf going to go on the shot clock here. Pretty conservative start here for Dake. Big club there from Nolf. You see him darting from the outside. Level change from Kyle Dake.
And you say conservative start from Kyle, which I think that's fair, but it's like this guy, when he goes, I feel like most of the time when Kyle shoots, he scores.
Yeah, high percentage finisher when he pulls the trigger.
Very calculated.
And as intelligent a wrestler we have at Team USA, he's always adjusting to his opponent's tactics, because he's seen a lot of different, offensive strategies against him, trying to figure him out. And then he crafts his own strategies around that. What his opponents give him to his Dake jumps out to a 1-0 lead here off the shot clock.
And you talk about the nice fake. You talk about the intelligence. I've tried to get him to explain or tried to understand him. He's talking about recognizing patterns, and just the way he has explained what it's like for him out there on the mat almost feels like the Matrix.
Yeah, all my interviews with Dake, I have to basically say, explain it to me like I'm 5, because he's talking on a different level from my own understanding.
Nolf, maybe got a little stinger there or something.
Shaking out his arm. Nope, trainer gonna come look at it.
No cold spray? Oh, maybe it is cold
Don't
spray.
rule it out.
That's a mini cold spray. It's smaller. I don't know what that is. I guess it looks like some kind of spray. I wonder if it's cold. Regardless, we're going to get back to it. 22 seconds left in the first period. Dake up 1-0.
Another level change from Nolf. And he's going to be pretty particular, pretty calculated when he does pull the trigger against Kyle Dake. And you know, a problem in wrestling is like sometimes wrestlers wait for that perfect shot before they pull the trigger, and those moments sometimes don't come. But with Dake, you kind of almost have to wait for that moment when everything arrives. Because if you take a shot under not great circumstances, he's countering and he's scoring. He gets to his crotch lift. He's world class. He can go chest wrap, head pinch, variety of ways to score. And he scored against the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, you can text Final X to 44321 to donate to Beat the Streets. Text Final X to 44321.
If you're Nolf 1-0 at the break, maybe you take it.
Not as good as it could get, but I mean, that's about as ideal a scenario. So we'll see if Dake continues to kind of control center, take ground, and if they will ever put Dake on the shot clock. And immediately you see that Nolf kind of on the outside, Kyle holding center.
Some good stutters there from Nolf. He's trying to create an
Heavy
opening.
hands from Kyle.
Right side club for Dake. Now has Nolf towards the zone again. Collar and ankle, he's in deep. Can he finish though?
Nolf has it up in the air, in position, looking to get at least one. He's around the waist over on the far side.
Dake's freaky here. This is not guaranteed.
That's gonna be
Wow.
two. A takedown, Jason Nolf. And he's got the lead, lots of time. And sometimes this is where you see Kyle Dake.
Yes, I was gonna say, watch Dake off the whistle here, and he immediately comes underneath. He's dangerous from this position as Nolf's gonna try to circle back in. Good luck, and I think he kept him up. Yes, he did. 2-2 on the scoreboard, and a caution in one.
I don't know if you heard what Kyle said to the ref. Where's he going?
Well, in my opinion, he went where you took him. You know, that's where you want. That's where you were taking him, Kyle.
Yeah.
So 2-2.
But Nolf with the lead.
Are they going to give the caution in one here? I think the caution in one got confirmed. It's 3-2, Bader. They gave the one and the caution in one there, and that is no challenge from Penn State. And you know, I understand probably why that they had a good view of that and felt that Nolf did not work hard enough to stay in bounds.
He was trying.
I kind of thought he was. I think it was, you know, Nolf was underneath.
He's got more horsepower.
And one red.
And Nolf points like he's asking for his.
No brick though, and Coach Cunningham, Coach Varner had a great view. The step out happened right in front of them, so they're pretty savvy challengers. When they throw the brick, they're usually they're high percentage correct.
Just when you think, holy smokes, Nolf's beating Kyle Dake. Nah, never mind.
Yeah, that was like a 10-second error there.
And he gets back to it though. Second time he takes a shot. Second time he's up in on the leg, but he's jammed up underneath. Kyle's got his hands locked around the chest. Nolf looked like he was going to try to come out the back door. Kyle really heavy in this position. And Nolf had him up for a second. Kyle just too strong. Will they give him one more attempt to come up? And
wow,
not going to happen. But Nolf in on the legs twice, scored the first time. So he's got the ability to get there. We'll see if he can again with just under a minute to go.
A takedown for Nolf does put him in the lead. 4-4, because he has 2-2s.
45 seconds to go here in period 2.
So tense in here this last 36 seconds.
Yes.
Everyone understands the stakes. Everyone knows what Jason Nolf has to do. Can he go in, test the leg defense of Kyle Dake once more?
Kind of has to.
Right now, Dake's pretty far away from him. Yeah, Nolf's got to close the distance here. And they're going to hit Dake for attention.
And that's the first time we've really seen Dake backed up, you know, closer to the zone.
There's a shot, but good job circling back in. 10 seconds to go. Nolf's got to go here. He's got to find a way to a leg. He's sprinting at him. Good job squaring up. And Kyle Dake, 4-2. Great performance from Nolf, but it's Dake that finds a way to get it done yet again, and he's a match away from making the world team. But Nolf will have his say in round 2.
Dake in the blue, Jason Nolf in the red, and we are underway. Match number 2, 74 kilograms.
I'm wondering how different this is going to look. I wouldn't be surprised if Dake has a different tactic coming out to match number 2.
And same with Nolf. You know, I could see him changing up his tactics and seeing something different here.
And Dake indicating towards the ref, as he often does. Little finger interlocking there from Nolf. And Nolf put the crowd on its heels when he got that first takedown against Kyle Dake, but it was a short-lived lead. As soon as he was down, Dake went and got some more points and was soon back in the lead. Hard left club there. Nolf absorbed it pretty well, as they're going to hit Nolf for passivity.
Kyle definitely controlling the center of the mat here. Good call by the officials.
Yeah, he's so tough to move. Club and sweep, pulling, pawing at the head is Kyle Dake. And still in the zone is Jason Nolf. Trying to circle back to center, does a good job off the shot for Kyle Dake, but he is going to go on the shot clock. It's Jason Nolf. 30 seconds to score, he'll give up a point. Hard right club absorbed by Dake. Boom.
Comes back with his own.
Stings him hard left.
Yeah.
Pulls right. Neither guy really break in position when those clubs are applied.
Dake, good footwork and movement, always on his feet. Very creative with the way he moves.
Yeah, and he said he's like, you know, his outlet for creativity is wrestling. He's like, I don't paint, I don't sing. This is where I express myself creatively.
And he does a good job of it.
Yeah, he's a one of a kind for sure. As he steps out of that shot, hustles to his right, trying to reattack. A good job squaring up by Jason Nolf, as it's 1-0 for Dake after the shot clock point.
And that's where we ended the last match. It was just 1-0. So, you know, could that be a tactic where Nolf's like, yeah, if I leave the first 1-0, give myself a chance. In the second, it goes down, got to the ankle, where last match he picked it up and scored. Dake able to make that adjustment and keep him off of it.
Dake's so good positionally. It's really bothering Kyle when he grabs the fingers. And they're going to hit Kyle for passivity. He's a little pain.
Be all right.
Yeah. This is a
but if I'm Nolf,
very tough individual.
If I'm Nolf, I'd probably grab that finger again and try to piss him off, honestly.
Yeah, you would, Pater.
Well, I'd do anything I needed to within the getting away with it, right? We talked about it earlier. If you can get away with it, do it. I don't mean blatantly cheat.
Oh, we know what you mean, Bader.
Everyone
knows what you mean. First period in the books, as a late attack there from Kyle Dake. Another little flurry there at the end as it goes 1-0 after 1. No one getting to a leg yet. Not a real committed attack from either guy. Nolf kind of had the collar ankle for a second, then just got pulled up and there was nothing. There you see some of the stats for Dake. Olympic bronze, 3-time world champ, won the Dan Hodge Trophy. Of course, not mentioned, 4-time NCAA champion at 4 different weights. That's insane.
Yeah, 7 NCAA titles out there.
Yep.
And almost a mirror image of match number 1's first period.
Yeah. Watch Nolf's left hand. See what he's doing to engage.
Because Kyle's shaking his hand out and seemingly didn't like what's going on there. Nolf, nice little fake. Kyle, not really acting too much.
Dake's still really doing a good job holding center. He's going to be tough to put on the clock. But Nolf's activity could be the only thing as he goes collar and ankle there. And they're gonna get, oh, in the shot there, gets underneath this Kyle Dake right before they're about to put him on the clock.
He's in position to score this. That's gonna be one. No, nothing offered.
Okay.
Wow.
And one, and
Kyle Heemsat pushed him out. Dake not afraid to talk to the referees.
no.
And Kyle's on the shot clock.
Yes, he is. So for Jason Nolf, man, this is a good position for you to defend, get into the lead, but then you're going to have a long way to go to hold off Kyle Dake. He's going to need more than just this shot clock point if he wants to take out Kyle Dake.
Wow. Towed the line there, stayed in bounds.
And he's ceding a lot of ground again, though. He got back to center, but once again finds his butt back towards the zone. 27 seconds on the shot clock, so that point's going to go up. Nolf in the lead. And just as soon as he gets in, he's like, no, you're not in the lead anymore.
Same exact thing last time.
Yeah.
He got taken down and then scored. This time he gives up the shot clock point, and it's like, when Dake needs to score, usually he can.
It's very rare you don't see him. These nip and tuck matches, Dake is often the winner. He leads 2-1 now, so Nolf is going to have to go and get it. Something he's not been able to do this match. He hasn't been able to generate that offense at this point. But he's shown he can do it today. He's shown he can get to the legs and finish on Dake. That's a very small club to be in.
Yeah. Kyle, pressure on that head, won't let Nolf up.
Nolf just keeping that hand on the mat now. He circles away.
Shot from space, he gets in, coming out the back door. Kyle's gonna threaten with that chest trap. Nolf's got the leg, he's still got a finish zone. Kyle reaches around the other side, weight on that head.
Kyle threatening that other leg, and now flattened out as Jason Nolf
continues to try to work from underneath, and Nolf's got him a little bit crunched up here. And now Nolf's, excuse me,
this is his
Dake's
position.
gonna threaten, he's around the waist, he's got him all kinds of twisted up, and they're gonna stalemate that one, blow it dead. Fans boo.
I'm not sure why. I think it was time to stop it. Nolf got his feet back on the mat. The crotch lift foot didn't work. That was a pretty long exchange there. Dake gets two exposure 99% of the time when he gets you lifted there from that crotch lift position. So good job by Nolf not going over, but you don't get any points for not getting turned there. So he's got to find a way to a score somehow, and he's only got 18 seconds to do it. Now he's in on this single leg again. Chest wrap position for Kyle Dake.
And this is going to be his last attempt. He's got to score from this position if he wants an opportunity, but chest wrap from Dake, all too good, and that's essentially going to do it. We got 5 seconds.
And he goes for it, last-ditch effort. It doesn't have to be pretty. He's back on the world team. Kyle Dake, a 2-1 winner against Jason Nolf. Nolf not too far off. He's certainly narrowed the gap since the Olympic trials where it was a 10-0 tech. But we're sending the world champ back to the international stage. And he's going to be a tough guy to knock off, that's for darn sure.
Absolutely.
He is the #1 favorite going in at 74. Here's Bill Zadek.
He just knows how to win.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's really good at it.
Big smile from Kyle Dake. Pumped to be back on the team. You know, something that eluded him for so long, as you remember, that was the whole story. It's like, man, that guy's amazing. He can win the world title, but he can't get by Jordan Burroughs.
Second best guy in the world.
Goes up to 86, can't get by Jaden Cox. And then now, he is in the groove now.
Yes.
Great.
For both matchups. And now here we go, 74-kilogram match #1 is underway. Kyle Dake in the red, Jason Nolf in the blue. And right away, it's Dake pressure forward, taking a little bit of ground.
32 years
Dake
old, three-time
pressure
US
forward
World
and then
Team member.
pulling back with those little snaps, trying to keep Nolf off balance.
For the U. His opponent is Army W Camp's Justice Scott.
Face.
Las Vegas, Nevada native. Green Valley High School. Attended Baker University before joining the Army World Class Athlete Program. 2021
On with that left
Junior
hand
World
is
Team.
Dake, and he gets to that collar tie. They're both shaking out their fingers Nolf's kind of funny.
And first point on the
I mean, there's this little bit of a political game that these athletes play with the officials where they signal to the refs and they shake their hand like the other guys doing something he shouldn't be, and Nolf's off.
I think Jason's just outright mocking.
He's just mocking him?
Yeah, I think so. He's just being silly.
That's funny.
A world U20 bronze medalist last year and a two-time NAIA
Head taps
champ.
from Dake, trying to find an opening. Right now it's just positionally taking ground as Kyle Dake.
Kids, 27 years old from Culver, Indiana.
1 minute in, no score, but it's Kyle Dake definitely controlling center. And that's what the officials are looking for. The man who is controlling center and gets the benefit of the doubt and is their opponent. If there's no points going up, will go on the shot clock.
That's Kayla Miracle.
And we still haven't seen one, but it seems imminent. We're going to have a shot clock in this match.
Yeah, it's coming.
WCWA champ for
and there is passivity. And here comes the clock. Minute 37 left in the first. If you're new to freestyle, if Nolf is unable to score in the next 30 seconds, Kyle Dake will get a point.
Now Dake can score during this time and still earn the shot clock point, so he's still incentivized to attack.
32-year-old Kyle Dake, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club, Titan Mercury Wrestling Club out of Lansing, New York.
And in these matches where you know it's going to be a chess match, no one really goes that hard to fight off the shot clock. They know this match is likely to be won in that second period. So Nolf knows he can't overextend himself to prevent 1 point. If you do that, you could end up giving up 4, 5, 6 points in one flurry against Kyle Dake.
His opponent, 27-year-old
Nolf has had to work fairly hard to be a little more disciplined. He's used to wrestling in the NCAA level where he could just open it up and let it all hang out. He's got to be a little more reserved, though, and he said that in his post-match. Dake trying to take ground with the underhook. Nolf controlling the elbow, trying to circle in.
And they'll break that free. Dake was pretty active in that position, but Nolf was able to defend well enough. You could tell Dake was trying to take him out of bounds, but you see the strength of Jason Nolf even in adverse positions.
Dake leads the series between these two.
Collar tie for Kyle Dake. He once again has Nolf, but towards the edge. And there's a shot, big lift for Kyle Dake. He's trying to drive him out. But wow, I don't know if he got two there.
Should be one. There was never a broken quad pod, and one is going to be confirmed.
Man, that is such a huge sequence for Kyle, but even bigger maybe for Jason Nolf. I mean, Kyle in that moment is thinking 4 points, and instead, like a cat, Jason Nolf lands on all fours, doesn't have a knee or elbow or head hit.
Shoulder, a hip, or
and with that, it's only a 1 point step out.
Freaky athleticism there for Nolf to avoid 4 or 2, just giving up to 1. 7 seconds left in the first.
And it's a similar story for Kyle Dake. It's the ones that separate him from Jason Nolf. No twos yet. And it's going to be 2-0 Kyle Dake at the break. They were indicating towards Kyle towards the end of the first period, but right as that happened, Dake shot in. So I don't think he got that warning. Here, he definitely did. There you see a double leg left side. He lifts up, and from this position here, he's thinking 4, but wheelbarrows towards the edge. No knee hits, no elbow, no head. That's just a step out.
Really nice there from Nolf, and he regroups after a conversation with Varner and Nickel in his corner. He said Bo Nickel, he thinks, can wrestle more like Kyle Dake than about anybody else in America, and he says he feels prepared for this matchup because of the goes he's had with Nickel.
So underway in the second period, 2-0 lead for Kyle Dake. Jason Nolf has not been offensive at all. And that's a weird thing to say, to go a period without a Jason Nolf leg attack. You have to figure that's calculated, part of the plan, and he knows he's got to come this second period. I expect more offense from Jason in the final 2.5 minutes here.
The great equalizer, the trap arm gut, makes it 6-1.
Dake continuing to be tough in that hand fight, moving forward and then snapping and keeping Nolf off balance. The takedown Nolf got last year was in that cross ankle situation.
So activity picking up a little bit for Nolf as he changes levels. Dake snaps him down, but no angle to be found there as we're coming up on 2:05. Here's a shot attempt from Jason Nolf. Another shot attempt from Nolf.
Seems like a straight on shot's gonna be tough to get against Dake.
And it's probably gonna take a combination of attacks to find your way to the leg of Kyle Dake. It's tough to get in on as a finger hits the eye of Kyle Dake.
Minute 46. We'll see if we see Nolf pick up his footwork, pick up his pace a little bit.
There's a collar and ankle attempt there from Jason Nolf. Minute 40 to go now. And looking re-attack off the collar and ankles. Kyle Dake, nothing there though.
Dake has been the one scoring in this match, but Nolf still does a takedown away, and now they're going to put Kyle Dake, not put him on the clock. That's the first warning for passivity, so no clock for Dake. Nolf still just a takedown away from gaining the lead.
We've seen it so many times over the years. Kyle Dake is not uncomfortable in these situations. A narrow lead is a big lead with Kyle Dake on the mat. Minute to go. A pair of ones for Dake still separates the two, and we've still not seen Jason Nolf get in on Kyle Dake's legs.
Nolf taking ground.
There's a shot, he's in. Single leg, but now lifting. Head pinch position for Nolf, chest wrap for Kyle Dake. And now in big trouble, 2 offered from the chair and confirmed.
Trapped arm locked up as well, does Dake, and here he goes.
Wow, 2 more, what a sequence for Kyle Dake, blowing this match out of the water, and that's why you saw Jason Nolf was so selective with his attacks, because when he did, 1 good attack, and it ended up being 4 points for Kyle Dake.
And that chest wrap just crumpled him. He gets that neck pressure, and it just, I mean, it was impossible for Nolf to stay on his feet.
Yeah, the pressure and the power that Kyle Dake brings in that position has to be just insane. We've seen him do it to so many high-level wrestlers, including Jordan Burroughs, and now Jason Nolf trying to find his way to get back in this match as they go out of bounds. White paddled, 6-0 lead for Kyle Dake.
13 seconds left. Nolf might have jumped the whistle, but they're gonna let it go and telling Kyle Dake to present. 8 seconds left.
Victory, 6-1.
Another shot attempt from Nolf. 4 seconds to go.
Match number 1.
And that is going to do it. Match number 1 goes 6-0 for Kyle Dake.
6-0 to victory.
Nolf's going to have to regroup, and he got in deep on that leg, but you see why Dake is so hard to score on.
And we are underway. Round 2, 74 kilograms. Jason Nolf in the red, Kyle Dake in the blue. 2-on-1 for Kyle Dake as he looks to post on that right side. Shot attempt from Jason Nolf already.
Dake controlling center, and talk about the game within the match, and it's that type of thing.
Some head taps there. The guys trying to get to a position they can score from, get to a leg. And another eye situation.
Nolf complained a little bit about that in the first match. Oh, close to the ankle. Talked about it in match 1, but the takedown Nolf had last year was that collar and ankle against Dake. It was close to it in the first match.
Dake's such a student of the sport. You know, he knows that's one way he can get taken down, so you can bet he put in a lot of preparation to be ready in this match. You got to figure Kyle Dake's close friend, David Taylor, could do a very nice job of simulating that collar and ankle position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minute 40 to go. Slower pace here. And they're going to hit Nolf for passivity, and he's going to go on the clock.
The second most famous wrestler from Chancellor, Minnesota, 4-0 here.
Nolf not going to panic here, but a point sure would be nice.
He's much more offensive this first period than he was in match number 1. I think he knows he can't just rely on one shot. It's going to have to be a volume of attacks for him to find the right angle. But as it stands, he's 11 seconds away from giving up the first point in this match.
Looking like that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, there's a shot, single leg, and oh wow, he beats that wizard so easily, does Kyle Dake. Now he's up 3-0. Reaching back is Nolf, trying to do anything he can to prevent the turn. And he hangs onto that leg.
and it'll be stalemate, 3-0 lead for Kyle Dake.
Dake, tough to beat under any circumstances. Dake with a lead. Man, you don't see that happen very often.
Nope.
See if Nolf can pick up his pace or come up with something innovative.
And Dake doing a lot. I think he's trying to disrupt the timing of Nolf. Hand one way, hand the other way. One side of the face, then the other. See, he's coming with that left hand, but on the far side of the face. You don't see that very often.
Shot from space for Nolf. Now drops back looking for that leg and can't get to it. Time expires. They're going to head to the corners. And if you're Bo Nickel right now, what are you saying to Jason Nolf?
I don't know. It's just like there's not a lot of options. You got to find your way to the leg and just hope you can get one finish, you know?
It's watching Jason Nolf be down a couple points, it feels almost impossible. And this is, if it wasn't for Kyle Dake, Jason Nolf would absolutely be a threat to win a world medal at this weight.
Yeah, what he's done overseas is incredible. And the depth for Team USA is, you know, maybe never been better. Where we have multiple world title or world medal threats at a lot of different weight classes. This one's certainly in consideration. Of course, this is the year before the Olympics. So we're gonna go from 10 weights down to 6 in 2024. So if you think these weights are loaded now, just wait till 2024.
Dake going back to that collar tie, Nolf posting, trying to clear a hard club, man.
Dake didn't like it. Another hard club from Jason Nolf. It's not in.
Dake just keeping his butt in the center. So disciplined.
Another shot attempt. And we're gonna hit Dake for passivity. His first warning. Next one he'll go on the clock.
Dake drops to the knee. They won't let you stay there very long, and he knows that, so drops to the knee, immediately comes back up.
We've seen the volume attacking style of Jason Nolf has not generated one significant attack on the leg of Kyle Dake. Kyle Dake basically taken one hard shot and he converted it. And it's crazy to think about at this stage in his career is Kyle Dake maybe pulling away from this field. Jason Nolf looked incredible this year. And he gave Kyle Dake, to this point, closer matches a year ago.
Yeah, it does. You do get that sense he may be pulling away from the field.
Doubled a single attempt there. Now looking head in the hole maybe is Kyle Dake. Now drag, but Nolf does a great job circling out, but no points for that great defense.
Now if Dake is pulling away from the field, there's one guy not in the 74 field that will be next year. Jordan Burroughs. Would love to see a rematch of that rivalry. Dake got the better of him at the Olympic trials. But sign me up for that match anytime. Just an attention there on Dake, not passivity. .20 to go. Nolf tries to go post to a shot, but Dake, well-timed sprawl, gets out of the way. Nolf gonna come forward one last effort. And caution and one is white paddled. Nolf still attacking, but it's Kyle Dake who's gonna take this 3-0. Kyle Dake back on the world team. He's gonna go for a 5th world gold medal in Serbia this year.
2 straight years, Kyle Dake downs Jason Nolf in Final X. Great performance by Kyle Dake.
on yet another world team. He gives a big smile, probably looking up at his family. Yep,